Hello everybody, Andy from Glass Half Dead here, and today I want to talk to you about the Warhammer 40,000 Kill Team Ashes of Faith narrative expansion. And I just want to be really clear, yes, it is a narrative expansion, that's how it's being marketed, but there are two teams in here that are fully legal in match play. So this review, this video, if you will, is going to be focusing on the whole thing that you get if you manage to get, you know, the Ashes of Faith box. But I think we all know that's going to be a rare occurrence these days, don't we? I am going to cover the narrative and what exactly all of the cards and the campaign entail, and these funky looking boards. And then I'm going to give you kind of an overview of the different teams, and if you want more of these teams, go and check out the faction focuses that I've done on them, the reviews of the team elsewhere that have also gone live at exactly the same time on my channel. But hey, as us Kill Team dedicated lovers all know, getting your hands on a box these days is a little bit circumspect, isn't it? Now luckily, the Chaos Cult team are already existing models, so you could just buy those now. You've probably, if you're interested in them, already bought them. Otherwise, the Inquisitor team, they're kind of crap models, so just proxy it. Awesome, job done. However, the narrative. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. If you want details of how to enter it, watch till the end of the video, but a long story short, just like and comment, and if you're a patron, you get more. Okay, there you go, more entries, right? Cool. So narrative first, but before we get to the narrative, I would like to say that if you are a subscriber to my channel, I'd like to give you a big double hello. Wow, wasn't that pleasant? In fact, what is a double hello? Well, it's a pleasantry that's given to you twice. If you really like it, and if you really like what I'm doing here, consider checking me out on Patreon, because that's the only way that I can continue to do this sort of thing. But it's also super cool if you just want to watch the whole video, leave a like, a subscribe, and a comment. Okay, narrative, Ashes of Faith. It's man, you know, I can only imagine that the forecasters for GW trying to figure out, hey, do kill teamers like narrative? Are going to have zero information to go on after this, because they're only going to release like 2 boxes and they're going to sell out, but you only sold 2 boxes. Who knows what that means? Anyway, so I fully read this. There's the campaign rulebook, which gives you kind of a full rundown on how all of it works. And I just want to say that, okay, so look, I went into this expecting, hoping for maybe, I don't know how you want to phrase it, a very specific thing. I was interested in the idea of the cards being their own thing and being their own card game, because that interests me. There was nothing in the advertising that said it would be, but to me, I genuinely believe that if you're going to give us all of this, like it's an entire rulebook on how to play this card game that they've given us, right? The Ashes of Faith campaign, and there's lots of different cards, and I was like, okay, this seems meaty. Let's crack it open. Let's see if it works as its own game, right? Like, it doesn't have to be a good game, but it has to be a complete game. I think that would be really cool. And it's definitely something that GW should think about in the future. However, the first thing you have to do when you're deciding is, how does the game of Kill Team fit into this card game? Long story short, D3 plus 1. There you go. If you want to play this as a card game, your game of Kill Team is just roll a dice, D3 plus 1, that gives you the same, that tells you how many VPs you would have scored and gives you your number of conspirator cards that you're going to get in every draft stage. Cool. You then mess around, you get the same number of control, persuade, investigate cards every turn. You lay out your big, cool, they are very cool looking accoutrements, I will say, like they're very nice. They don't do anything. As a game, in itself, it essentially doesn't work. There is no end game, there is no reward, etc. Everything that happens, although it is possible to win if you go back and forth enough, the entire point of the card game is to affect how your game works. Because all of the cards that you can win in the territories have an in-game effect depending on who controls it, who's persuading it, or who's investigating it. And there's no real finality to the card game itself. It's all about what you're doing in the game. And that's fine, right? That was just me. I then want to talk about the Inquisition Agents. Now, the Inquisition Agents are 7 models, but you then have enough extra arms left over that if you have more bodies, you can easily just make the other 5 dudes, okay? 4 dudes? Yeah, 4 dudes, I think. Now, it is what it is. Let's talk very briefly about the team. What is the team? The team is a core of 7 guys, and then you add on another 5 or 6 models. So in the box, you get your Inquisition Agent sprue, which is 7 guys plus arms that you can make with other bodies. You get 5 scions, which can be kitted out as just any scions as we know, and you can also get 5 Sisters of Silence, which is pretty cool. Now, I will say, obviously I'm going to talk about this more in the actual video, but the Sisters of Silence, if you just want a default team, like, I genuinely think that your 7 guys here plus 5 Sisters of Silence is probably actually the way to go. Like, adding a bunch of power swords to your team is just always good. How can you go wrong with that, right? But then, of course, you also have the option of adding in Kasrkin Vet Guard, Imperial Navy Breachers, or Exaction Squad, right? And basically, again, I'm going to go over these properly another time, in the other video, sorry, is you get 5 Exaction Squad, 5 Kasrkin, or 6 Imperial Navy Breachers, 6 Veteran Guardsmen. You do not get to keep their special rules. Let's throw that out there straight away. However, all of their keywords, they are no longer Kasrkin. It is replaced with Inquisitorial Agent. So any, not TAC Op, sorry, any strat ploy or TAC ploy you use that interacts with Inquisitorial Agent will now interact and affect your Kasrkin, your Exaction Squad, your Navy Breachers, or your Veteran Guardsmen. Very briefly, the way these guys work is that you can take half of that team. There you go. That's genuinely the easiest way to view it. You can take the specialists from those other teams. There are 1 or 2 that you can't. Kasrkin normally can take 4 gunners, now you can take 2. Exaction Squad, normally you can take 4 subductors, now you can take 2. You get half the squad. You know, Kasrkin are normally 10 operatives, now you get 5. Obviously you can't take a leader, that makes sense. If you don't want to run the Sisters of Silence, because for whatever reason you don't think 5 bodies with 3-up armor saves and power swords is your go-to, I think probably Kasrkin are a solid second. If you can get hold of those, good luck. Purely because obviously Kasrkin have the best, like hands down, just the best Vox Trooper comms agent in the game. I think there's probably play among all of these. This is the team that everybody is going to need to have. The reason it's the team that everyone is going to need to have is because it's the list building team. There you go. That's how it is. It's not a total free-for-all. You are limited in certain things you can take, obviously, but there are so many possible options that it's kind of irrelevant. And this is a legitimate list building team. The previous most complicated team has probably been Warp Coven, but they've been around for a while now, and we're bored of those. So now, this is the team. If you miss list building, this is the team. That's all that I can really say. The other thing I will note very quickly as I flick through here, wait for it, sorry. No, not the Sisters of Silence, is the Scions. They are now a 4-up ballistic skill. Now, I do want to very quickly mention, a little bit off topic perhaps, but if you're currently paying attention to the Warhammer 40k guides that GW is putting out, you might have noticed that a lot of the shooting teams there have gone from a 3-up ballistic skill to a 4-up ballistic skill. And obviously a lot of people were complaining about Kasrkin being a 4-up ballistic skill and kill team. Maybe this is why. Maybe Kasrkin, Scions, etc., the elite but still regular human troops are going to be going to 4-up ballistic skill, and that's why it makes sense for them to now be 4-ups in kill team. Interesting. Now I do think, now just to summarize there, I do think that if you just kind of want to play, if you just like the idea of an Inquisitor team, I think you can still play these guys and just run 5 Sisters of Silence, job done. But if you truly want to eke out every minute tumor of efficiency, this is the team, and you will end up with lots and lots of different rosters and list building ideas for this team here. Okay, and then we go over to the Chaos Cult. Now, I've actually managed to get a few games in with the Chaos Cult, and I've got to say, very interesting team. I thought at first blush they were going to be a team for me. Very simple, run forwards, hit stuff in melee, right? But you can't. They're too weak to do that. You have to have actual plans. It's a killer for me, I know it's a killer. But it's a 15 model team, which is our first true 15 model team, I would say. Forget Galapox. And all of the Chaos devotees are GA2. So you're only actually getting like 10 activations, but every time you mutate a model, that's going to increase your number of activations as well, because they're only GA1. So it's an interesting team. It's deceptively complicated. We've all seen the accursed gifts, and that's 6 different gifts that you can give out every time something is mutated or with a attack ploy. And let me tell you this, you better have a plan for those, because if you don't know what you're doing and you just mutate a random guy, not only do you mutate them, you have to give them a gift. You don't have to give them a gift, but suddenly you're thinking, oh no, it's turn 2 and I've mutated 4 models. Who had what? So you do kind of need a plan with these. I would say in general what you're probably trying to do is you don't need to mutate everybody into a mutant. What are they called? Oh, a mutant. You really want to push to a torment as quickly as you can. That's when you become really quite powerful, essentially mimicking a assault intercessor in melee, but you're 13 wounds, but you do have a 5-up feel no pain. Let me tell you this, the team gets much better if you can roll over a 2, as I found out over the weekend. That's all I'm going to say on that. So I think the plan for them is pretty much decide who you want to run up the board fastest and make sure that they become a torment as quickly as you can. A deceptively complicated team, of course, because unfortunately you also have to keep in mind all of the auras that you're doing. You kind of have 3 complicated auras that you're trying to keep on certain models, and then are you reacting to the game, and so you're popping whoever you think is the best mutant into a torment, and therefore possibly, you know, most likely not getting the auras on them, or, and therefore, you know, being less effective, or are you following a pretty strict plan that requires pretty complex levels of movement, but you have absolutely 0 flex, and if you lose a model where you're not expecting it, you're done for. And let me tell you this, a frag grenade will just destroy every model in this team. So it's a very weak team. So I think that in general, the Chaos Cults are going to sit power level wise, very middle of the road, probably slightly below 50%. And then I think that the Inquisitorial Agents, if I had to guess, are not going to be an easy team to play, but they're going to reward people that put in the time. And I know that quite a few of the top players do like that vibe. And so I imagine that their win rates are going to be quite high, even though they're a difficult team to play, because some of the best players will probably play them. Pure speculation. I don't know, that's just my assumption. Okay, and with that said, we are now at the end of the video, so let's discuss how you get to win this thing. I kind of already told you, to be honest. So if you want to win this narrative stuff, which is the campaign rulebook, 2 decks of cards, however many territory things there are, and then this sheet of stickers, I don't know, then all you have to do is like, subscribe, leave a comment. The comment could be anything, that will just automatically enter you. There you go. That was easy, wasn't it? And then in a week's time, like the Saturday just after pre-orders have gone live, so that you will know whether or not you have your copy, most likely. And then you can decide whether you actually want this or need this, etc. I'll leave a comment after your comment telling you to contact me on Discord, basically. And that's it. But if you're a patron, leave a comment here as normal, but also leave a comment over on the post that I will make on Patreon. For every tier you have, your name will be counted once extra. So if you're tier 2, your comment on Patreon will be counted twice. If you're tier 3, your comment will be counted thrice, etc., ad nauseum. So there you go. Anyway, if you've made it to the end of the video, I would quickly like to say a big triple hello to you. Honestly, nothing helps a small, struggling, destitute, derelict, bedraggled channel like mine than just watching all the way to the end, leaving a like, a comment, all that great stuff. And hey, If you do like what I'm doing here, do consider Patreon, or even just let people know about the channel. That'd be awesome. Also, don't forget to check out Full Scale Wargaming, this bad boy right here, because I'm going to be doing slightly longer form content with a little bit more effort over there than here. That'd be awesome. Okay, well, I hope you like Ashes of Faith. Don't forget to go and check out my reviews of both the Inquisitorial Agents and the Chaos Cults that are live on my channel right now. Bye.